As the scorching winds of North Africa in Egypt swirl up endless sand, a ragged army marches slowly along the desolate coastline of the Mediterranean Sea. At the head of these weary Spartan mercenaries stands a short old man whose skin is tanned dark by the blazing sun. His left leg is visibly disabled, making every step an arduous struggle. He has to lean his full weight on a scarred Spartan spear in his hand. No one could have imagined that this poor old man, toiling away in a foreign land for meager military pay and even mistaken for a beggar by the Egyptian pharaoh, was once the uncrowned ruler of the ancient Greek world, the supreme lord who held the fate of Sparta in his hands for 40 long years. This is Agesilaus II, the longest-lived and most uniquely complex legendary king in Spartan history. Tonight, let us follow the flickering firelight and immerse ourselves in this story that lingers gently in our minds to learn about his extraordinary life. How did a crippled prince on the margins of power defy ominous prophecies and seize the supreme throne in Sparta, a military state that prized physical perfection above all else? Why did he choose to sail across the sea and become a pawn of a foreign ruler in his 80s, an age when most people would enjoy their twilight years? History remembers his brilliant tactics on the battlefield, yet few can fathom the loneliness and forbearance hidden deep in his heart for half a century. Now let the noisy thoughts fade away with the slow and soothing narration. Close your eyes, and let your mind drift back to that era filled with iron and blood, intrigues and the afterglow of the setting sun. In Sparta at that time, physical disability was an inescapable curse. According to ancient Spartan laws, every newborn had to undergo a rigorous physical examination by the Senate. Any infant born with deformities or disabilities would be ruthlessly cast into the deep valleys of Mount Taygetus. When Agesilaus came into the world, his left leg was congenitally stunted, leaving him lame. In the eyes of the Spartans, who worshipped martial prowess and sound physique, this was seen as a sign of misfortune and weakness. Though his royal blood saved him from being abandoned, he was completely excluded from the line of succession. He was sent to live among commoners and endure the brutal military training known as the Agoj, a regime akin to hell. Inside the training grounds rife with whippings, hunger, and cruelty, young Agesilaus endured unimaginable humiliation and oppression. Taunts from instructors and fellow trainees haunted him every single day. Yet this lame boy displayed astonishing endurance and fortitude. He never complained or shed a tear. Whenever others ostracized him because of his disability, he would train relentlessly alone late into the night. He pushed his deformed left leg to the limit, forcing himself to run as fast as the able-bodied, and endure more pain and hunger than anyone else. Years of suppression and self-discipline taught Agesilaus to conceal all his ambitions and resolve behind a meek and humble exterior. He showed utmost respect to arrogant elders and obeyed fierce generals without question. The entire city-state came to believe that this disabled prince was harmless and easy to manipulate. Little did they know, beneath his downcast and docile gaze burned an unyielding fire that would one day overturn the old order of Sparta. When the Spartan king passed away suddenly, the sole heir Leotychides became entangled in a scandal claiming he was an illegitimate child, throwing the balance of power into turmoil. Lysander, the brilliant general who held actual military and political power over Sparta, sought a puppet with no solid influence to ascend the throne and sustain his own rule. His eyes fell on the unassuming lame young man who always appeared timid and compliant. Relying on his immense prestige across the state, Lysander even reinterpreted the ancient oracle warning that, "A lame king shall not rule Sparta." He addressed the citizens, arguing that the prophecy referred to a flawed royal lineage rather than a physical disability, and insisted that Agesilaus was the purest heir who abided by tradition. Persuaded by his impassioned speech, the Senate finally yielded. Amid widespread doubt and astonishment across the city, Agesilaus limped his way up to the dual throne symbolizing supreme authority in Sparta. Yet on the very morning after his coronation, Agesilaus too cast aside the gentle mask he had worn for 30 years, revealing iron resolve that chilled Lysander to the bone. Drawing on the great popularity he had gained during his days of commoner training, he bypassed Lysander's power network. He made generous compromises to the Senate and Ephorate, winning their full support for his command of the army. By the time Lysander realized the puppet he had installed had grown into an unfathomable political giant, it was already too late. The once formidable general was gradually sidelined, and eventually died alone in an insignificant skirmish. Having outwitted everyone with extraordinary forbearance, Agesilaus too stood atop the military empire. A new era ruled by this lame, wolf king, dawned coldly over the Greek world. After ascending the throne, Agesilaus II pushed Spartan military expansion to its peak, earning a reputation as the most fearsome war machine in all of Greece. He led his troops across the Aegean Sea to launch raids against the Persian territories in Asia Minor. Despite his royal status, he lived the same harsh life as ordinary soldiers. He slept on hard dirt ground and ate coarse barley porridge fit for slaves. His red cloak was patched all over, and his sandals worn thin. His extreme frugality and unyielding warrior spirit inspired all Spartan soldiers to fight to the death, for they saw in him the embodiment of Sparta's ancient virtues. Tragically, the harder one strives to defend something, the faster it may crumble. Sparta's long-standing hegemony and ruthless rule united the rest of Greece against it. Thebes, Athens, and Corinth formed an unprecedented alliance to counter Sparta. Their most formidable adversary was Epaminondas, the gifted Theban general who mastered both human nature and warfare. At the Battle of Leuctra, a battle that decided the fate of Greece, Epaminondas deployed the innovative oblique formation, shattering the invincible traditional phalanx of Spartan hoplites. It was the most devastating defeat in Sparta's centuries-long history. 400 elite Spartan citizens were slain within hours, breaking the backbone of the empire. News of the defeat plunged Sparta into utter panic and despair late that night. Women wailed in the streets, and young soldiers prepared to desert. Already advanced in years, Agesilaus II stood alone on the ruined city walls, leaning on his spear. He stared at the countless campfires of the Theban army glowing on the